Hi, welcome back. We're looking at core Agile practices from the Agile Practice Guide from the Project Management Institute and Agile Alliance. This one in particular is release and iteration planning. For release and iteration planning, for Agile life cycles, two kinds of planning occur: release planning and iteration planning. Now, in release planning, our business representatives establish and prioritize user stories for the release. So our business representative, remember, is that product owner role. And they're the person who represent the business, usually, or the customer who you're doing the work for. And that could be a BA role, for example, gathering the requirements, or it could be actually someone from the business themselves. But either way, they're defined as the product owner role in the whole team, gathering that whole team together, remember, for an Agile project. So they'll establish and prioritize user stories for a release. Now, they'll collaborate with the team, and they'll refine larger user stories, maybe big pieces of work, into a collection of smaller stories or features or items that people can work on. So maybe Billy, maybe Jane, maybe Joe can work on this one, and all up it'll be a part of this larger release. So what this results in is backlog preparation, the backlog of work for all of these smaller user stories. The backlog is the ordered list of all of the work presented in a story form for the team. So that story is usually as a sort of consultant, let's say. I want so I can do X, for example. That's usually the story that's presented from a business point of view so that the people know exactly what to develop and what the outcome that we're looking for. With those stories, the team facilitator role, which is that servant leadership role, the scrum master, the project manager, that kind of role, encourages the team to work in triads of a developer, a tester, and a product owner or a business analyst to discuss, write, and then place enough of those stories into an iteration. So an iteration is that 2 to 4 weeks time-boxed period of work, and to have enough features for a first release. So by having everyone work together, you're making sure that you're getting the requirements from the product owner, you're making sure that it will be of good quality from the tester, you're making sure that it is able to be developed and that you've got the development skills to actually pull this off as well. And all of these people will contribute to make sure that this feature or this story can be actually completed. Then these items will go, as we've seen many times, on the Kanban board. And in our backlog, we'll have all of these different stories ready to be taken up by all the different people, Jane, Billy, Joe, all those people, to work on and move across the board until they are completed. Now, in iteration planning, where we've got our 2 to 4 week time-boxed periods, the team selects user stories from that prioritized release backlog. So we've got our backlog of work, and the team will be able to select items of those stories to work on over the iteration. Now, they elaborate those user stories and perform risk analysis for the user stories, making sure that all of the I's are dotted and the T's are crossed, and then they estimate the work needed for each user story. Maybe it's going to take 4 hours to complete this one. Maybe it's going to take 6 hours to complete this one. Maybe it's going to take 2 weeks to complete this one. Or maybe you're looking at points. So a lot of people will determine points per card and do it that way. It doesn't matter really how you allocate or how you estimate the work, but as long as you have a consistent method across the team. Now, the number of stories selected is based on an established team velocity. So velocity is the rate at which a team can complete work. So maybe if you're doing points, maybe a team can complete 20 points per iteration of 2 to 4 weeks. We take those 20 points and we assign the cards based on how much we do believe we can get done, which is our team velocity. And thus the work begins. And that is release and iteration planning.